created.
Yeah, exactly.
Individually.
Exactly.
And then we have to be willing to collaborate with other individuals.
And that collaboration is a challenging thing when you
Oh,
have,
oh, oh, oh.
when so many of us have our ego out there, running things for us. You got to let that ego take a back seat.
Because no matter what you do, no matter who you are, there's no one who thinks exactly like you.
And isn't that a blessing?
It could
it
be.
is.
It could be.
I believe it
But
is.
currently, it is part of what created the mess we're all in.
Yeah, that idea of following too much what's outside of you
Yeah.
and not learning to ground and anchor the energy that's inside of you. That is like the most important thing that we can do right now for
Right.
ourselves. And so let's take that first one that we focused on, which was eat more better. Eat more better. What the heck does that mean? What have you got to share
It
with the
means eat more better. You have to listen to your body.
Yes,
You
you
have to listen to what you really want, not what you think you want. I love shrimp, but there are times when my body said, you're shrimped out. And so I have to listen to that. All of you, listen to how your body reacts when you're reading a menu, when you're planning lunch or dinner. Is it what your body says? Okay, let's go for that.
And you're talking a little bit more about quality versus quantity. And
Yes,
quality
yes.
takes on a whole new meaning when you start to pay attention. So I don't hear you saying like, don't do this and don't do that, because that's like a simple prescription. Do this and you lose weight. Do this and this will happen. That's not true any longer.
True.
What's true for me is just like, I agree with you, William, it's important to pay attention to your body. And you do it way before you start eating.
Of course. And again, what you just said, it's not about quantity. It's about the quality that you're needing at that moment.
And, for instance, since I'm semi-retired and I'm not working as diligently, physically doing massage and body work, I don't require as much as I used to. And so that was like a big adjustment. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, okay. So there is this phrase out there called, what is it? Abstinent eating or intermittent fasting. That's the word, intermittent fasting. That's like the new kind of fad craze. Even that can take you off path.
Off path,
Because-
you've got to find who you are, what you are, why you are. And there's something in all of us that we don't approve of. So we have to start now allowing ourselves to have idiosyncrasies. I have 150 of them.
I got 152. But again, when you are the manifester and the creator of your own reality in your life, that encompasses everything. Physically, mentally, emotional, and the spiritual energy that you bring forth. That is our creative power now.
Creative power.
Yeah, and power is not power over others or control over others.
Exactly. That was a big one.
I know, but in our current narrative, you think that that's really what's going on, which is, to have power, you have to control others. And there's lots of that going on, but we're saying to you, you can take that back instantly.
And control yourself.
And it starts with, we're saying eat more better. So if you need to change your diet from, whatever you've been doing now to something that gives you a little more energy, then we encourage you to go for that. Disregard the diet protocols. Disregard all the gurus and the people outside of you telling you what to do. And when you go to pay for a service, I like to think, William, that when I go and like the acupuncturist, he's on my healthcare team. I'm not on his healthcare team. Yeah? I say I'm like an expert in Renataology. I got 64 years in. You're an expert in Williamology. You got 82 plus years in. Do you see what we're saying? Yeah. So claim your divinity. We hear that, Claim your light.
And when I suggested being self-disciplined, it doesn't mean denial.
No.
But it does mean I just don't really need that today.
And you and I have both traveled, and I know you don't care if I share this, that travel of excessiveness, whether it's drugs or alcohol. We've all kind of been there, I think a lot of us have.
I've been to a lot of those places.
Yeah, I have too. And so, it's good to abstain from certain things until you get a new program going for yourself. But then that particular energy, when you're in training, I can't, it's a I can't energy. There's nothing else with that. It's not a love energy.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of my grandmother telling me when we were out in the country, if you feel like climbing that tree, don't deny yourself. If you want to have an affair with that person, don't deny them or yourself. And so I've always grown up with the idea that discipline doesn't have to be denial or rejection. And if you or they or something wants to reject me, I say thank you very much. Oh, I do, because that kind of person, I don't want to know them anyways.
True story. And this word of entitlement just cropped up in my head as you were talking about discipline. It's like, it's not that you're entitled to anything on this planet. We need to be good stewards of that.
Stewards, perfect.
Because there's this runaround with this word sustainability. Let's sustain our planet. I'm going to call if I had a buzzer on that and replace it with stewardship. Because we need to really take care of what we are walking on, which is Mother Earth. That's the trees, that's the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees.
That also reminds me of my grandmother's heritage, where as stewards, they would, they were nomads.
I know.
And they would say they would take turns walking to the next place barefoot. And everyone had to take their turns walking barefoot because they were massaging the earth. They were saying, thank you, earth.
And we are not even taught that. Like when we're young, we have recess. You go outside and play volleyball, whatever, jump rope, and then you go back inside.
Yeah.
But it's like there needs to be a lesson. It's like when you're playing and you're playing and laughing and sending that into the earth for everybody to use.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then the roots of the trees, the flowers, the plants, they spread it to others.
And just
It's a spread.
It's a spread. Just like when trees need water and one's died, they have this energetic connection root system that reaches
They
out.
feed each other. Yes. Good.
So
that's part of the food process.
And that's part of the food. If we have soil that is deplete and doesn't have laughter and joy and the nutrients in it because we over farm and we over till our soil, that's part of the stewardship too.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it? That's part of the eat better.
The Mongol people, they believed, even if they lived in the city, that part of their responsibility was to sometimes just use the outdoor bathroom.
My grandson would call it nature pee-pee.
Yeah.
We've been taught so much outside certain behaviors that just don't make any sense. I mean, obviously you're not going to urinate in front of the restaurant that you're going into, but, we've seen that too.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I haven't done that.
Oops. But what we're saying is there's no separation any longer. And so whatever it is we do to the soil and whatever we do to our plants, we're eating them. Gosh, we kind of do that to ourselves. You think about that full circle idea of seasons. Man can live not without nature. Nature doesn't need man to live.
Okay, now that's another thing with food. Again, I keep tracing back to
You're good.
my heritage. And that is, if you're hungry and you have no food, go out in nature.
Go out in nature.
Because the natural energy, everything is an energy, will feed you. And you will no longer be as thirsty. You will no longer be hungry.
Yeah, I'm just like taking that in a little bit. Conversely, if you need to eat something and you're like low blood sugar and you didn't bring food with yourself, if the 7-Eleven hot dog is the closest thing you can get, go eat the 7-Eleven hot dog, right? And then tap your spleen points. Tap your spleen points and tell your body, this is what we're having now.
Yes.
And thank you.
And
gratitude replaces
gratitude.
a lot of, isn't
Perfect.
it? Oh,
Gratitude is so important.
you're good. No, I agree with you. Here, gratitude. Gratitude is essential. Attitude of gratitude.
And all of you with kids. My kids, once upon a time they were little, I would tell them, every piece of food you have, every encounter you have, be gracious to it and say thank you.
That song, every step you take,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
da-da-da-da, I don't know who that's by, da-da-da-da. Yeah, someone's watching you. Well, we're watching you. We're watching ourselves.
Back to self.
Yeah.
And that is not selfish.
No,
That is self-awareness.
self-awareness.
Aware that you're perfect exactly as you are. Even like with my deformities, I say, if they were supposed to be with someone else, they would be.
And I know that stumps a lot of people in the metaphysical
No.
in the metaphysical community, because people attempt to think that they are the healers of somebody else's life, which is a total
Doesn't work.
misnomer.
Doesn't work.
And then they look at you through the eyes of imperfection and think that they have to make your inconsistency go away, mostly to make them feel better about their healing skills.
Exactly.
And that has nothing to do with sharing your love or joy or light.
In the kind of healing work that I did, and still do at times, I never tried to fix anybody. I would instead, thinking about a man that had been crippled in the war, and that was World War II. I said, well, now that you're paralyzed, that has nothing to do with who you really are.
True story.
And I helped him realize that there were things he was always, as a kid, interested in doing. And he thought that to do those things, he had to have physical mobility.
Yes, yes.
Instead, I said, how can you adapt it to the fact that you've still got your mouth? And in case you didn't notice, you've got a pretty big mouth.
So what were some of his interests?
One was a form of production.
Really?
And in that era, he started working at a high school in their theater department.
Very cool.
And he was able to direct, he was able to produce, and he fell back in love with himself.
The human spirit
And it saved his marriage.
the human spirit is resilient.
Oh,
Is it
tell me
not?
about it.
Amazing. That seems to be why this particular narrative that we find ourselves floating through right now is fairly oppressive. Because it attempts to squash the human spirit.
Yeah.
So again, the eating more better is super important. Be a steward of the land that you walk on, and the food that you eat, and the food that you share. And the other part of that eating is the joy, the intangible aspects that you're emitting all the time.
And so part of feeding yourself is feeding other people, not with physical food, but like the example of the paralyzed man. Feed him with, you have other talents.
Yes.
Let's develop those. Let's use those. And he was no longer embarrassed being wheeled into the auditorium. He was no longer embarrassed that he needed help to get into bed or go to the bathroom. He discovered life existed. And he was feeding himself and feeding other people, saying, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, we are oftentimes, and especially now, the present. For people to unwrap by the presence in our life. It's like sharing our light with people. his ability to rise above. And people have watched you that you have counseled in Japan for like the last 40 years. Prior to, I didn't know you prior to your handicapableness accident, so I've only known you this way. But people that you have worked with have seen you be one way and then totally transmute what you were given to another level. And that, you know that I say that all the time. That's why I hang around you and why I love you, because you don't give lip service to your philosophy. Gosh, you do not give lip service to your philosophy, your life philosophy. So we're really talking about the eating better, the breathing better, and the laughing better. It's a lifestyle. It's a whole life philosophy.
It has to be a lifestyle to embrace.
Yes. It's just not like a little bit.
And when you say the laughing, one of the big important things is laugh at yourself.
Oh my goodness, be the coyote in your life, please.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my goodness, have those conversations and just put that ego in check. Like, you know what? When I want to be like hostile towards somebody, you can bring that energy up about being irritated. But until then, we're just going to float along and be okay. You know what I mean? That positive self-dialogue. It's not even positive self-dialogue. It's reflective self-dialogue. It's real self-dialogue, you know?
Using myself again as an example, when this happened to me 23 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, 23 years. And doctors told my family he might live 5 years. And that was 23 years ago. Yeah.
It's amazing what we're able to do when we unify on the inside.
By the way, did you know my little baby is now 55? Keith he just turned 55.
Oh my gosh. And then your grandbaby just turned 1? What? Riley's 1?
Oh, he's my great-grand.
Okay, well, I'm not real good with that lineage. You know how I am.
Oh, yeah. No, I have my granddaughter, his mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's almost 30.
I know. And they're over in Hawaii. And
They're in Hawaii.
Hawaii's having a few challenges now, aren't they?
No.
They're
They're having a bunch of challenges.
And that's why we're saying that these real integrative, we're calling them, spiritual integrative, what do we call it? Spiritual blending.
Yes.
Spiritual blending tools. Because there's so much being overlaid on the whole population and the entire globe.
And it has nothing to do with what your religion is.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It has to do, if you're a Catholic, be a good one. If you're going to be a Jew, be a damn good one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be an atheist, be a good one.
If you're going to be a eclecticist like me, and I don't claim any particular religion, but the idea of spirit living on and then really being spirit in action, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Be your own light. Mm-hmm. And then other people will say, if she can do it, if he can do it, maybe I can do it too.
And for the 7.8 billion people on this planet, there's that many ways squared.
Every time you say that, that scares the heck out of me.
I know it's a lot of people, isn't it? But there's a lot of nebulous fear out there squashing the 7.8 billion people squared that have all this power. But they don't recognize that because they're trying to do problem solution. Let that go. There is no solution except for to be you and shine your light.
When I was still in hospital, I was in the hospital a little over
For a year, huh?
a little over a year. And they said, you'll never walk again. I said, okay, well,
Your turn.
I just won't walk the way you think I should.
True story.
And so I was going camping in the jungles of Cambodia a few years ago, and the doctor that was in the village I was staying in said, you can't go camping out in the jungle, it's wet. I said, so what?
It's wet. I'll bring a raincoat.
I know what wet is. I've been wet a lot. All of you, be yourself. Nothing happens that doesn't have a positive solution. Nothing.
I agree. And sometimes we're just kind of up-leveling that original solution and adding our own little twist to it.
Absolutely.
And that's how new stuff comes.
Like that man that was crippled in a war. He found out he could take an old dream and make it blossom and become back friendly with himself.
And I just recall that when I would hear people say, see the divinity in everything, or see the light in everyone, that's exactly what that means.
That's exactly it, yeah.
You no longer look at the person that's in a wheelchair or whatever. I mean, you see that, but you don't see that. You don't respond to that. What you respond to is the light energy. That's what causes you to, rise up, to be a better person.
Now, you just said something important to me. People in similar situations to mine, we don't need other people pointing their finger at us.
Seriously. Or
We point our finger at us ourselves. And the metaphysical community
True.
is one of my bugs.
I
Because they
know.
say, and some people that you all know here in Tacoma said to me a few years after this happened to me, they said, what did you do in the past life to deserve this?
I know, and see, that is such a convoluted concept based on human consciousness that's gone awry.
Yep.
That, but we can have our own things that make us get a little irritated.
So rather than criticizing anyone,
Yeah.
invite them to dinner. Say, I'm going to the movies. You want to come? So what that they have a handicap?
And stop trying to figure out how you can help heal someone. The only
Right,
important
right.
thing that matters on this planet at this time is that you share your light. And if you don't know who you are, then you're not sharing anything.
And so, the Universal Life Alliance and the Humane Society here have joined together in a project to make sure the dogs and the cats are taken care of.
I know. Do we want to show it? I mean, I did post
Oh, sure.
on the Universal Life Alliance. I guess we're doing a little commercial now.
Okay.
Commercial. We did post on the Universal Life Alliance two things. Our gathering that's coming up on the 27th of January, which is a Thursday from 5 to 8. So go to the website. But you will also see, let me get the flyer. Oh, it's a flyer. There's our flyer right there somewhere. Okay. We can appreciate our flyer. We love our flyer. And do we want to read the kind of things that they're needing? They need like blankets.
Go for it.
Okay, blankets, towels, prescription pill bottles like those, the brown ones, nursing bottles, small pet beds, e-collars, plastic shopping bags, and newspaper, but just a black and white newspaper.
Yeah, and
Not the colored
the only
newspaper.
thing missing on there
What's
are toys.
Oh, yeah, we didn't put
The
toys.
dogs and cats love toys.
Okay, so let people in on one of your last incarnations, because I don't think they remember that.
Oh, I
love
had
that
a
story.
past life as a dog. And when I was still in the spirit world, and they were having a meeting about the next lifetimes, I was having a wonderful time with wine and little hit times. And they said, there's no one left in the group that you want to be with. I said, well, how about that dog? And they said, well, I've never heard of that, but it worked. And so I tell everyone, the wonderful part of that is no one criticized me for who I slept with.
I thought we could skip ahead with the breathe better, just go to the laugh one, but when we get to the laugh one, we'll be juicy with that one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're all over the place, but it's okay, because we're still staying focused on we're human.
And that's the point
Absolutely.
of the three elements. One supports the other. Laughter supports feeding you. Feeding you supports feeding other things and people. Breathing. If you're going out into the woods, you have to move your body. You're breathing better. And the trees love you because they are breathing you and you're breathing them. It's all back to the stewardship.
Yes, it is.
Everything is there to support us. Everything.
And recognizing that's really what's happening in terms of the connection
Connecting.
with the earth and the people. It is all about connection. It feels like we're saying that way too many times, but connection means you're connected.
Connected. And mostly connect to yourself. And no matter who you are, male, female, no matter what color, race, you're unique, and make the most of it. A prime example of somebody who came from nothing and turned into a miracle worker is Rita Moreno.
Oh, we did see the West Side Story. She's still kicking at whatever, 90 or
90
something?
now. Oh, and she's out there doing, oh yeah.
I mean, that was impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that was impressive. And actually, anytime that I notice someone holding their own past the supposed age, you know, still dressing and still having fun and joy and laughing, it just makes my heart sing.
Yes.
It really does.
Well, I saw an interview with Rita a number of years ago when I was working in LA. And she said, you know, working in the industry I work in is what keeps me young, healthy, and nourished. So there you go. Follow your dreams, follow your goals, and you will stay vibrant. So it was no big deal for me to say, so I'm semi-crippled. It's not going to stop me, gang. You all can do it.
You got a new chair in your place, and it's a bigger chair. And I said,
I
oh.
love it.
And you said you loved it. You said you sat in it, meditated. And then I'm like, you could almost curl up it and go to sleep. And I'm like, oh, no, he's handicapable. He can't curl up. But we caught that. You know, it was comfortable. Yeah. And so you don't have to tiptoe around people.
Oh,
you
no. We know our problem.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You don't have to hide it.
Yeah, it's so that again, have more empathy, not sympathy and pity.
That's a big difference.
You know, just like that word we keep saying, allow. When you do the numbers, you know, when you add up the energy of allow, it's a 2. So it's always about connection, 1, 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always about integration, 1, 2. That
And
word allow.
duality. Mm-hmm. And all of us have to know, no matter who you are, you're both male and female. You're both up and down.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, we are duality.
And we're both a positive and a negative
That's
energy
right.
for sure.
Big
You know?
important.
Right. I just watched, it might have been a couple of weeks ago, this really fabulous video on 9-dimensional consciousness. It just brought things together in a way that made this life journey more effortless for me, and that just because it showed me how easily we can move through the veils of duality or the energy of problem solution, which is 3rd dimensional, because it keeps looping. It doesn't do anything different. And that's what this narrative is. It's a 3rd dimensional narrative. It just keeps looping. There is no solution at all.
There is no solution.
It's not our story. So
listen to what she said.
There is no solution because it's not our story. But what there is creation. And that's what we're missing. So that's what we're talking about. And if you don't pay attention to what you need for eating more better on all those levels and breathing more better, mouth, and this is where I heard this, the mouth is for eating. The nose is for breathing. That was the one nugget of wisdom that this young, Mateo is his name, he's very cool, that he shared. I'm like, okay, that's simplistic, but I'm ready to hear that simple knowledge because we all have a lot of wisdom that we kind of act like we don't have it. Like, what's that about, William?
If you just look at yourself in the mirror, you have everything that you need.
Plus more.
Oh, plus.
I mean, that's why the show is exploring infinite possibilities. We didn't say finite possibilities. That's the narrative that's out here now, problem solution, finite. We're not talking about that at all. And so those people that are listening to us, that are tuning into the energy of what we're sharing, they know exactly what we're saying.
Oh, absolutely. And it's all right to put your own spin on it.
Oh, please put your own spin on it.
That's right.
I mean, that's been some of the biggest lessons that you've shared with me as one of my mentors in my life, is you said, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. I can make a suggestion. You don't have to do it, but make it be yours.
You know, I've been teaching in Asia for many years. And I always start my workshops, my programs, saying, these are things that work for me. Now, take the knowledge, but find out how to adapt it to work for you.
No matter how much you pay a guru for those classes or how much you pay a psychic for that reading, it's up to you to integrate that knowledge into your life. And it'll drop and float and grow in different ways. And you have to, there's that word allow.
Mm-hmm.
You have to always choose, there's that other word, and allow that to manifest in your life.
And choices can always change. If something isn't working that is comfortable for you, change.
It's your job.
And you're right.
That's your description.
Absolutely.
That new job description. If you don't like what you see when you're waking up in the morning,
Change it.
get to changing.
Get to change
Get
it.
to changing. Because what happens, if you don't get to changing it, somebody else that's not paying attention will think that you're their job to change.
Yep.
Not true. There was another note about that breathe more. I see said we had notes here.
Oh, yeah.
Like a new small little sending breath. Oh. So I have that one little meditation that I wanted to share with all of you
Please.
about sending the breath into your cells.
Mm-hmm.
Use the acronym MEAT. MEAT. So MEAT stands for molecules. E stands for electrons. A stands for atoms. T stands for tissue. Well, meats. And S stands for system. So we've used the word meats. MEATS. So we're going to breathe energy deeply into, we're making an intention, every molecule, every electron, every atom, every tissue, every system of our entire body. That's one of my meditations.
And I personally believe that we who are parents, grandparents, whatever, we can turn those things into games for the kids.
Oh, yeah. I love
And
I'm sorry.
turn it into fun. And those kids are going to be productive, abundant. Even if the abundance is not money, it's abundance of confidence, determination.
And that'll bring you what you need.
Absolutely.
So that you don't have, like a lot of people on our planet, food insecurity. Wow, that's a real topic. Housing insecurity. That's a real topic on our planet, and it doesn't need to be. So when you have that confidence, then you attract what you need. Enough. In abundance, probably. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Enough to share.
You know, I was doing a series of workshops for, well, actually it was in Mexico, and people said, well, but if we don't have water, what are we going to do? I said, well, if you don't have water available to you, there's animals around you, follow them.
'Cause
They know where the water is, follow them. And they love to be followed. If you're hungry, follow the animals. Follow the birds.
So there was
The gods,
sorry.
okay.
No.
The gods created every living thing on this planet so that no matter what, we can collaborate with them.
We can collaborate with the universe.
Absolutely.
I was just going to bird in there because it was so exciting to hear that there is a huge reservoir of water on Mars.
Oh, that was fun.
And I think we posted on our Facebook page. And then what other thing was there? Oh, under Antarctica, there is a 75-degree maintainable temperature, and there's flora and fauna. And
Yes.
there's life.
And there's life, there's fishes swimming down there,
Yeah,
living.
yeah.
They've created their own habitat.
I mean, you can deep dive on the other side and know about a lot of stuff that has been taken out of our history. But again, that is that narrative to squash the magnificence of the human, because we're here and we're there.
And we're Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so don't deny anything. If one person is doing it, it's worthy of your attention.
And if you're catching it, if you're observing it, then obviously you're the person that's worthy of that attention.
Exactly.
Getting, right?
Yes.
So utilize that. I mean, that's how we are able to magically touch and connect each other, by being aware, I'll say it again, that you oftentimes are the present in other people's lives to unwrap by your presence.
Yes. And observe each other, because when you observe each other, and that includes plants, animals, trees, as you observe others, you're receiving everything you need to be productive, to be abundant. So honor them, and you will be honored.
I just recently, because we're starting to go out into the community and find projects that people are doing that, are worthy of mention. There's so much of it. I ran across a young gentleman. I can't remember his first name, but I'll just say Mr. V.
Him.
Him, Mr. V. And he started a project that was for seniors to do like handiwork for them, because he was raised in North Carolina. He said, when I was a young kid, to make money, what you did was, you did yard work. So he thought, I can work with that basic knowledge I have, and I can extend that to help seniors. And then he took this next project and got connected with someone that said, so what if we work with young people, this is the part that was very cool, 13, and make them commit to 3 years to be in our program. And that's like mentorship on a grand scale. And let's show them how to make a living by doing the lawn, those kinds of handiwork things. And then let's also put together what they call a mobility kit, which included the lawnmower, the motorcycle, maybe not a motorcycle, but a bike, a bike, and all the tools, and how to work the tools, how to take care of those tools. So by the time they're 13, 14, 15, or 16, they've got a definitive skill that allows them to make a living, a darn good living. I see a lot of that work around here, gardening and that. It's valuable. But it's like, if people don't take their creative inspiration and then plant it somewhere and allow it to grow, it's just a bunch of ideas floating around, So I think part of our job here as influencers is to let people know these things are happening.
And when you listen to these words, then you can start influencing your children. Don't say to your kids, we'll take care of everything.
No, that's not even real.
Let them learn how to take care. If they need your help, say, you're always able to ask my opinion, but I'm not telling you what to do.
No, that's powerful.
I'm giving you the right to experiment. If it's not comfortable, ask. I might have an idea that works for you.
See, and I was raised in a family, a single mom, but I was raised in that way.
Yeah.
And I have some good friends that were raised that way, and so we turned out pretty good. I have lots of vivid life experiences, that are coupled in my wisdom bag, but I utilize those. But the script is just different now for me, So was there something else about the breathe better? I mean, the breathing is important. Like, we can take a breath break right now. What's so cool about breath? It gets you in the now moment. That was something I wanted to talk about.
Right. And when you blame yourself, when you blame other people, you're suppressing the natural breathing system.
Yes.
And laughter, joy, playing opens your breathing system, and then you're able to breathe health, vibration into your body, into your muscles, glands.
I mean, honestly, if we stop breathing, you got my point. We stop living. So again, I just point to this current narrative that wants people to stop breathing.
And your choice is, are you going to stop breathing, or are you going to find your own breath?
And life is breath. So we're saying, find your own life.
Yes.
This is problem solution. Get out of there. There's
Yes.
nothing to be resolved. Be you. Do you. That is the power that we have, that we need to exercise daily.
Yes. And exercise is not the same for everyone.
No, it's not.
And working with the wounded warriors, they said, I can't exercise anymore. I said, now let's play with that.
Let's play with, I bet you did.
Oh, let's
I bet you
play with
did.
that idea. And they found out that exercise doesn't have to be what they were taught to believe.
No.
They can find their own way of exercising through laughter, joy. There's all kinds of things.
Absolutely. Even some of the top athletes will run their race energetically in their mind's eye.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, they connect biofeedback equipment up to them, and measure a lot of things, but they do a real run, and hence they win the race.
Sure.
And so we can do that same sort of thing. You can watch a movie and see somebody doing something kind of cool. Well, you can take that energy into your whole entire body. You can be enhanced negatively by watching too much stab, kill, and die things, where you become numb and think it's okay to do that. So why, conversely, can you not watch joy, happiness, and bouncing around and take that into your body?
That's right.
That's the power we have.
And if that person over there is having a good time, that's reminding you, you can have a good time. You don't have to do it the way they are doing it, but do it the way it's happiness to you.
And I think a benchmark, though, is laughter. When you get a little laughter going, it's like, okay. And so silly jokes are kind of fun.
I don't ever tell jokes.
Oh, we were talking about jokes we wanted to share and thought we'd get the joke book out, but I don't know. It's just laughing at yourself is a good thing, isn't it?
Well, other people are laughing at me, so why shouldn't I laugh at myself?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're so funny. Oh,
It's true.
There are some comical moments from time to time, aren't there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear. But it's cool stuff. And in fact, thinking about storing things up, you don't have to have a current moment laughter situation. You can just have a few things that make you laugh and bring them up again and again. They're just powerful.
Sure.
And even on that feeling good thing, this has been challenging. So that feeling good thing, where you feel up and buoyant all the time, it's a little sparingly for a lot of people. But you can have an incident where you felt really good 8 years ago.
And call it up.
That's part of your toolkit bag that you've got going
Because
on.
everything that you've experienced, everything, is in your memory bank.
Totally.
Always can call it.
You can always call it. And I love that little EFT thing that I do, emotional freedom
Yes.
tapping. Where a lot of people are tapping trauma out of their life, and that's a good thing. So your central nervous system can rebalance.
Yep.
But you can tap joy in.
Oh, absolutely.
You can tap in joy, like I said, that little still moment of joy that you had. You can just tap that in. Even though it feels really hard for me today, I recall that situation where I fell off my bike and I just started laughing. Maybe that was it. That was the one for me. I had a hard time riding a bike. Had a hard time driving a car. Maybe it's because I'm a Pisces. Like a fish out of
I'm
water.
not going to tell any stories, but she still has sometimes.
I do. Like, who's driving? I don't know.
Well, I remember sitting at a stop and go sign and having a wonderful conversation, but cars going around us, cars tooting. But we just sat there.
And you're like, is there a reason why you're stopping? Oh, I forgot.
Then off we go.
Okay, I'm going to share, this is a really private one, but it's a pretty good one. So we're driving in the car, taking you home after a show, and I have like heated seats. I love my heated seats.
Oh, yes.
It was winter time, so I turned my heated seat on, and I generally ask William if he wants his heated seat turned on. I didn't ask you, I just turned it on. And all of a sudden, I'm driving, and he's like, okay, my ass is hot. I'm like, okay, I should pull over. And then he was just saying that turn the heat off because you're kind of skinny. And you were feeling, I could still pull that up now and just crack up because my response was like just classic. Was like, well, what can I do for you? What do you need me to do? That's what we mean about laughter. Have a laughter buddy.
And tell stories to each other. Laugh with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do things just because they're fun, bizarre, challenging. Just do it.
Well, I mean, we can start now with this one narrative going on. We can have a big laughter party with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. You want me to do what? For how long? You're good. So that's what I'm saying. Create a new life story just for the glory of making it a better day just for you, because you matter. Your value is the important aspect of moving along on this planet.
Many, many years ago in this current life, I was friends with a very, at that time, famous actress. And she loved to do things to make other people laugh.
Okay, you're going to tell us who that is.
Tallulah Bankhead.
I know, you've known some people from like, okay, you knew her? So cool.
I told you I'm an antique.
I know.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, she was a character. Why do you think we were friends?
I mean, those memories too, just you bring those up readily. They're just like bouncing off of your body sometimes,
Sure.
you know? And it's cool that you share that with me and with other people around you, because it's like, oh, yeah.
Because it's not the name, it's the fact that we had fun. One of my favorite stories, she'd call me up and she had a voice way down here.
Okay, go tell that story because I love it.
And she'd say, William, would you get your friends together and cause a riot? And I will be there by chance. And I will hit the press and I'll get another job.
I love to say her name.
Tallulah
Bankhead.
Bankhead.
Tallulah Bankhead. Isn't it? It's kind of funny saying her name even.
Oh, yeah.
You probably channeled her here with us a little bit. She's probably laughing saying thank you.
Thank you, darling.
I haven't been out for a while.
Everything was darling.
Oh, because Hollywood was full of so much whatever. Yeah, and it still is.
And she tried everything that anybody ever heard of.
And then somehow.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm feeling like we just get on here and we just start chatting.
And I think we've got probably 3 minutes left.
Okay, if not, we might be off. It just might go dark all of a sudden.
Yeah, and we can tell our producer and director, if we go over, just shut us off.
Yeah, just make us go to dark. Make us go to dark. No. Let's see, we did the commercial on the event that's happening with the Humane Society, Tacoma Humane Society. I didn't know they were different.
Oh, yeah.
And
Each one is independent.
Right. You did a lot of research on that. You, Maria, and Anita. Those are some of our board members on the Universal Life Alliance. And yeah, you guys did a lot of great work. And I just did the flyer. You know, that was pretty easy. So we have a gathering this Thursday. No, not this Thursday. Thursday, January 27th. 3 to 5. It's like a potluck, and it's more of a potluck for fun.
It's an opportunity for fun.
It's an opportunity for fun. And it's posted on our Facebook page. And also, we've got a flyer posted on the universallifealliance.org. Again, the website is the universallifealliance.org. Okay? That's it, is it?
And you don't have to be a member. But also remember, membership in the Alliance is no fee.
Yeah, there's no fee, but we realize that word membership implies like a huge commitment. And it's kind of the reverse with us. You need to be committed to you.
To you,
And your
individually.
growth. Not committed to our philosophy, because we don't really have a philosophy that encompasses any religion or a specific way to be. But we're wanting to create this spiritual diversity, this integration, so that people can harmonize and play together much more better and laugh.
And
a lot
gooder.
more, and gooder. And make words up. We always do.
Because there is nothing that we have to allow to repress us.
Not
And if
vulgar.
anyone says you can't, smile at them and say, watch me.
There you go. Don't test me.
Yeah.
So test
You
yourself.
can't go camping in the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Watch me.
I'll bring the jungle with me. Yeah. I mean, freedom really is that freedom to express who you are
Expression.
in the moment.
Thank you. Yes.
And if you're not talking and you're not hugging and you're not hanging around people and your friends and making new friends and creating new energy, you're not expressing. You might as well bury yourself and cover yourself with the dirt and then grow a garden from you or something.
I love it.
Grow a garden. We usually hug and say goodbye, but we're like this, so
We're
I'm
not
just
going to. That's a good bug.
Yeah,
Hug.
because we're
Huggy buggy.
Huggy buggy. So like,
And thank you to the new crew.
I know it's
I
great,
like both of your attitudes.
and it's great to look at them. They're kind of nice lookers.
Oh
too.
yeah, and she has a smile that is
I know.
incredible.
And then we get this little prompt. They tell us what to do. We like it. We feel like professionals.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next week. Look on the Facebook page to see who our guests are. We'll have more guests. You know? Okay. Love up, live out, and blast your life.
And love,